Do you want to create clean and organized courses? Today we will explore hub worlds and how they can enhance the feel of your levels. And we're starting right now. A hub world is a safe area that you continually return to and has exits to different areas of your course. Hub worlds create a home base for the player and allow gameplay to be broken up into chunks. This allows the player to not only gauge their progress, but also have a chance to relax between each major element that you throw at them. Today we're going to look at 4 different designs, starting with the simplest and working our way up to a little bit more complicated. The first design we will look at is a very basic room that has 4 doors. 3 of the doors can be accessed, but 1 requires a key. The idea behind this design is that each door has a challenge that the player must complete in order to be rewarded with a red coin. Once they've collected it, they are transported back to the hub world to move on to the next room. Eventually, when the player has collected all 3 red coins, they're granted access to the key door. That key door could be a reward room, a boss fight, or just the ending of the course, depending on what you think works best with your course. I really like this hub world because they get to decide on the order that they tackle these challenges. If it were me, I would personally try to figure out which challenge was the hardest for me, so that if I died, I wouldn't lose as much progress as if I did the easier challenges first. Some players, though, might want to start with the easiest first and work their way up to ramp the difficulty that way. To wrap up, design number 1 is a very simple idea with a clean look. The player gets to decide on the order, and it's the easiest one to implement into your level. Our next design is very similar to the first one in that we have 4 pipes that each contain a coin for beating a challenge, with a 5th coin left in the hub world. The major difference here is that we decorate each pipe with a little preview of the challenge ahead. This not only foreshadows what the player will have to overcome, but it gives the player a choice based on visual cues. Let's say the player loves bob-ombs and on-off blocks. Well, they can just start with this pipe that has those visual cues and attempt this puzzle first. It's also very useful for the player to remember which pipe leads to what challenge, so they will not have to guess and check if they want to attempt the challenges in a different order. By the way, you might be wondering how we can keep the screen from shifting while our character moves around. We're using a very useful technique called scroll stopping. If you want to learn more, check out our scroll stopping video. To recap design number 2, I really like the clarity of this design to inform the player of the choices that they have, while decorating the hub world to make it more visually appealing. For design number 3, we decided to create a world that was a bit bigger. In this one, we can explore a bit more to see our home base. We still use the same scroll stopping technique to keep the camera from moving left and right, but now we allow for vertical change so the player can move up and down. Other than that, we actually have a progression system built in. When the player first enters the room, they can see that the arrow leads them to the first pipe. Let's say they complete that first challenge, come back, but they are rewarded with a mushroom for completing it. Now Big Boy Luigi can explore the hub world and see if he can access any new areas with his newfound power. Sure enough, his head is now stronger, and he can smash these blocks to access the next challenge. After Tough Skulled Luigi conquers this challenge, he would be given a fire flower for his trouble. Now again, the player would be able to search the hub world to find if they're able to open up new areas with this ability. As you'll notice on the top, we are describing each pipe with the power-up inside. That is to tell the player you need something to be able to access this pipe, so come back when you get it. So instead of the other 2 rooms where the goal was to go collect coins to work towards a key, our goal is to have the player feel like they're leveling up by collecting power-ups while progressing through the level. Very different design than the first 2, but as someone who loves the feeling of progress in a game, this is a great way for the player to feel like they're getting stronger throughout the course, and it rewards the player for using their newly acquired abilities. In our last design, instead of having the player change a lot, we're actually going to have the hub world change. I know what you're thinking. How can you change the hub world? Isn't it always the same? Well, you might not be able to change it, but you can give the illusion of changing it. This is a level that I created recently with the premise that our house is frozen and we need to collect fire flowers to fix our heaters. The beginning hub world looks like this, with pipes that appear to be frozen shut with ice blocks, many ice blocks in the ground tiles, icicles on the ceiling. When the player goes in and solves the first puzzle, by the way, I'm not going to spoil the entire course in case you want to try it out. I'll leave the level code in the YouTube video description. They are able to use the fire flower to partially fix the heater and return to the hub world. This time, the hub world looks a little bit different though. Can you spot the changes? We now have one burner active in the bottom left. A few of the ice blocks have melted from a pipe. Others have turned into fire flowers. An icicle is gone. And now we have a new trail of coins with a new arrow. By changing the hub, we can give the player a sense of progression of the story and a feeling that their actions are moving them towards the final goal of warming up the house. The reason we save this example for last is that it takes a lot more effort and patience for you as the creator, but I think that it's well worth it when the player can become fully immersed in your level theme and design. I also really love that you can show the player where to go next with different arrow signs or coin trails so that they don't get confused with an arrow that was meant for a different point in the level. I think we've all played levels where it's overwhelming with the amount of arrows and coins of the creator trying to tell the player what to do. This is a great way to cut that out and show them only what they need for that given point in the level. Which hub world design will you use for your next course? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to continue to improve your Super Mario Maker 2 level design skills. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.